Hey, good morning, guys. Today is October 31st, 2025. Happy Reformation Day. I wanted to go over some points about our approach. I do believe that we must have some kind of loose framework, a structure for how we make our initial approach to the businesses that we're trying to target for our people. And so I thought I'd make this short video. It may not be the best. It's probably not going to be comprehensive, but I at least want to put something out there for training purposes to help make this process a little bit smoother. To have confidence in going into these places that we have something to say. You know, we're advocating for our people. We're doing the very best that we can for them, and therefore they deserve to have a process that is excellent. And that will yield results. So, kind of backing up a little bit to even before we go in there on our blitzes. So, as we have discovered, it's really good that we're working together on these blitzes and how much greater the results are. It's almost like the results are greater than the sum of all parts, right? It's just a beautiful thing. But before we even go out there, we need to make some kind of loose assignment of territory. We know this, so we'll divide up the area according to roadways normally, and some of this is for you, some of this is for new folks coming in. But then, as long as we have clear targets, then whoever it is can go through the area and be confident that what we're looking for in that locale, in that area, is going to be relevant, and therefore it takes far less time. Like, I don't want you guys to have to spend hours trying to put together a route, that where we go to this place, that, I mean, you can, but I think it's so much more effective just to have some flexibility in that, because we also want to leave room for however God would move in that scenario, right? We want to have that flexibility, and as we're going, I encourage to be prayerful. God, show me where to go for this person. Where would be a good environment? And as I'm sure you've noticed, that sometimes when you go into an environment, a place of business, immediately this would not be a good fit. Whether it's the pace of the work or the culture of the business, whatever it is, maybe it's too big, maybe it's too small. But if we have a good plan and we've gotten to know our customer, we kind of have a sense about these things. We start developing a sense. Maybe the people that greet you are rude. I had that happen yesterday. Not really. It wasn't rudeness. It was a language barrier, right? And I noticed that just about everybody there was of a particular ethnicity. So that means that place was probably not going to be good for our customer. That's not discrimination. That is wisdom in keeping. I'm not going to get off on that topic. We can talk more about that later. All right. So as far as the approach, when we go into a business, we're looking around for somebody who's wearing a manager shirt, right? And they may not be the hiring manager. It's okay. In fact, when I go into a place like Walmart, because it is so big, I'm looking for someone who is young and probably has not been with the company very long, and I'm asking them who the hiring manager is. Okay, and once I have that information, then I will go to the back of the store. This is Walmart. Okay, and I will wait for someone to come through those double doors, where it says employees only. We don't want to go back there without assistance. Okay, and then I'll ask whoever is coming out the door, hey, can you let Susie know that can I talk to Susie for 30 seconds? Or, can I, the hiring manager, whoever it is, can I talk to the, you want to use the name, okay? You want to come across, it's a gray area, you're not lying, but it does make it seem like you know this person. And because of that, they're more likely to help you without interrogating you. That's what you want to avoid. You want to avoid a bunch of questions, okay? Because the more questions they ask, the more they're going to usher you out, because you're an unwelcomed interruption, right? But that's what we do. We are paid very handsomely for interrupting people. I call it advocating. I think that's more accurate. Advocating for the people that we're taking care of. So we're going to ask, hey, if the hiring manager's name is Susie, hey, can I talk to Susie for a minute? Okay, and most of the time they will go get Susie, or they'll say, yeah, come on back. I'll show you where our office is. Sometimes that happens too. Okay, so let's fast forward. We get in front of Susie, and now we say, I saw this. I saw on your sign outside that you're hiring, or on the window, or I saw on your website that you're hiring. Now with Walmart, it's a little bit different, right? You want to be, they don't have a lot of time, okay? So you want to be bold and ask them, hey, Susie, would you happen to be hiring for cart pushers or online shoppers? Okay, if those are the positions that you're going for, you want to get right to the point with the folks at Walmart, okay? Because they're busy. Most people are. Okay, and they may say yes or no. So really, okay, if they say yes, I'm a job coach, and we contract with Texas Workforce to help people with disabilities find jobs. And this is when you pull out your marketing cover letter, okay, and you're coming up alongside of Susie, and you're saying, and this is our guy that we're helping, and his name is Gabriel, for example. And this is his experience, and you just touch just briefly on his experience, if it relates, as long as it relates. And these are all his availability, okay? And these are all the glowing things that his references have to say about him. And this is why the marketing cover letter is so powerful, because it's different, it's unique, it has their picture on it. They stop in their tracks because they've never seen anything like this before, and they're actually looking at it with you because it's so interesting. And you know what? Yesterday I found two people, and this is a little bit of a tangent. I found two managers who had relatives with disabilities. And I said, oh, really? Okay. Well, if you will look on the back side of this card, you will see how they can register with Texas Workforce to receive services. And they don't have to pick us. They can pick anybody that, there's a lot of providers like us, but this is awesome. Okay. And both of them one of them was in tears, because to her, this was like, an act of God, and I do think that she was a believer, and I do think that this is one of those divine appointments. Whether or not our guy gets the job there doesn't matter. Her brother, I think it was, she wanted desperately to help him. I think it may have been his son. Okay, but she didn't know about these things. Okay, we're going in for more reasons than just advocating for our people. We're going in to serve the needs of the people that are standing in front of us, which is an amazing thing. All right, so we tell them, we tell them what we're about, okay? Hey, I'm a job coach. We contract with Texas Workforce to help people with disabilities find jobs, and here's our guy, and we talk about our guy on the marketing cover letter, and then we ask, okay, do you think it would be a good idea for us to go ahead and put in an application? And over half the time, they're going to say yes, okay, if they're hiring, all right? And then you say, okay, well, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Would you like for me to give you a call after we submit the application? And again, more than half the time, they're going to say sure. So make sure that you get their name, make sure you have their name. And a lot of times you can just reach them by calling the main number. If you feel like the interaction has gone so really well, and you want to ask for their phone number, you can, or their extension, you can do that. Otherwise, just assume that you'll call the main number and ask for Susie or whoever it is, right? Okay, but then listen, if we're on a blitz, we have to take care of our list first, okay? That's priority. We need to work through that list as fast as we can, get through those 10 or so businesses within an hour and a half or so, because then we're going to switch gears after we've gone through our list. Okay, after we've been to all of the places, we'll put a time limit on it, probably 2 hours. Okay, we go to as many places as we can. We develop as many hot leads as we can, and then we're going to transition to the application phase. Okay, so and then we stop everything. We converge on a library, and we start banging out applications for this person. Okay, and then as soon as we're through with the applications, what are we doing? We're on the phone. We're calling up Susie, okay, or whoever. And then we're trying to get Susie on the line. Hey, Susie, it's great to meet you today. Just want to let you know we got in Gabriel's application. Would you like to set up a time to meet? You're asking for the interview. Okay? And this works. If you can get Susie on the line, you have established a rapport with a decision maker. Okay, and that's the whole point. That's the whole idea. We're wasting our ever-loving time if all we do for these people is sit at home and bang out applications. It doesn't work. Face-to-face is what works. Face-to-face is what must be done for these people. This is the major part of advocating that we do, is being bold and courageous enough to get in front of decision makers for them so that we can get get invited to apply and get the interviews, right? Okay, so all the while, when you're going through your list, this is what I do, and I want to encourage you to do the same. Text yourself. Okay, text yourself, create a draft of a text, and list out the places that you've been. This does not have to take up hardly any time at all. Put the place, who you spoke to, and the result. Okay, so I spoke with Susie, hiring for blank, and then and then that's it. You're going for the application, right? And this would be at Walmart. So Walmart, Susie, hiring. Get in the application ASAP, right? So that you can call back. All right. So that is pretty much it in a nutshell, right? So there's a lot of nuances, guys. But this is such a quick and easy approach that it's malleable, it's flexible. Once you know it by heart, it gives you the ability to really listen to the person that's talking to you. This is the sales aspect. I hate that, but this is the discerning part of it, where you're really listening because you know what to say. You have the confidence and the ability to speak into their need, whatever their need may be, whatever the position is, as long as it's one that we're targeting for our client. Then we know what to say. We know the process. And once you get them on the phone, this is important. Keep the ball in your court. If they try to say, we've got, interviews set up, or we've got a lot of applicants, hey, that's okay. Do you mind if I call you in 3 or 4 days? Would that be okay with you? Just to kind of touch base and see how things are going. Okay. I've never heard anybody say no to that. Maybe once where they kind of put me off a little bit if they're not interested. And if they're not interested, and if they put you off, then move on. Go to the next, right? It's okay. It is a numbers game, all right? But what I'm finding, this is so exciting to me. We are developing a process, a system that is predictable and measurable. And from that, guys, there is no limit. There's no limit. I mean, really. I mean, human limitations, yes. But when we start to scale and start bringing on more people, as a company, there is no limit to what we can accomplish in the state of Texas. We will start here locally, and as long as the supply chain of training is consistent, we can grow into other counties across the state now that we have the technology. But anyway, I think I'm going to have to wrap this up, but I just want to share the approach. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you have any questions or suggestions, because this really is kind of a rough draft. I mean, I've done the best that I can. I hope this helps you. All right, that's it. You guys have a wonderful day.